for math today, we're going to start by reviewing every single measurement chart. This one especially you will need to know for the test tomorrow. And you need to pay attention because some of you did not know these. Even though we did these together. 1/4 hour equals 15 minutes. 1/2 hour equals 30 minutes. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. And let's look at that on the clock. If you are doing 1 hour, then you would be taking this minute hand all the way around the clock, correct? So let's do that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So there is 1 hour or 60 minutes. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. If we were to do the half hour, then you would cut the clock in half. Not literally, but visually cut it in half. So from the 12 down to the 6. So let's count off those minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So a half hour is 30 minutes. If you were going to do 1/4 hour, then you're cutting the clock into fourths or 4 pieces. So you would cut it straight up and down and straight across, right? Visually, not literally. So this first section would be 1/4 of an hour, so count off just one section. 5, 10, 15. Now if we were talking about this section, it would still be 5, 10, 15. 15 and 15 make 30. If we were talking about this section, 5, 10, 15, and 15 and 15 and 15 is 45. That's what you get when you do 9. And then 5, 10, 15 in this last section. So each of those sections would be 15 minutes. And 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15, 4 15s is 60. That's how you get 60 minutes in an hour. You guys understand that? All right, next, let's do 1 day equals 24 hours. Again, looking at the clock, there's 12 on the clock, but we have AM and we have PM. So 12 and 12 is 24. 1 week equals 7 days. 1 month equals 28 to 31 days. 1 year equals 12 months. 1 year equals about 52 weeks. 1 year equals 365 days. 1 leap year equals 366 days. You do need to know those for the test. All right? And reminding you about the clock. What do you do first? Don't hear a word. On the clock, what do you do first? Shorthand first. Longhand. Can you say it the way I've taught it?
Longhand by 5.
Thank you. Shorthand first, longhand by 5. So shorthand is the hour hand. Yes, you should know that. But if you do not know what the hour hand is, then it doesn't do anybody good for you to say the hour hand, right? There may be somebody out here that thinks this is the hour hand. That's not the hour hand, is it? This is the minute hand. The shorthand is the hour hand. Shorthand first, longhand by 5s, and then sometimes you have to count by 1s. And if you're changing the time to so many minutes after or so many minutes before, what's the rule on that? If you're saying, oh, you can't say because you don't know which one I'm talking about. Don't say count backwards. When do you count backwards?
If the minute's hand is after 30.
Very good. If the minute hand is after 30, that's when you count backwards. If the minute hand is before 30, then what do you do? Switch. Very good. All right, and then if it's quarter to, quarter after, or half past, what do you have to remember there?
You have to put the number.
Which number?
The hour. The next hour.
Yes, you do. But when do you know when to stay at the same hour and when to go to the next hour?
If it's after 30 or before.
Very good. because 30 is 30, so you don't have to go the next hour. Anything after 30, you have to go the next hour. So 45, when it is like 6:45, that's when you would go the next hour and say 6:45. Very good. All right. Anybody have any questions on that? Because that's what you have for the test tomorrow. All right, let's review the other measurement charts. While we were having distance learning, we learned measures of weight. The only one we have to remember here is what? 1 pound equals 16 ounces. Some of you aren't even looking at the chart. Look at the chart. What is it again? 1 pound equals 16 ounces. All right, then we learned measurements of capacity on Friday, and that is how much a container can hold. And we learned that 1 cup equals 1 pint equals 2 cups. 1 quart equals 2 pints. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. A faster way to say that is 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. Again, 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. Today we will be learning measurements of length. Now, when you use measurements of length, sometimes you are measuring length, which is how long something is. Sometimes, though, you're measuring height, which is how tall something is. And sometimes you're going to be measuring distance, which is when it's very far away. Does anybody in here know what you're going to use to measure distance when something is very far away?
A ruler.
No.
A yardstick? Tape measure.
No.
A measuring tape?
No. Something very far away. Very far away. What?
A ruler?
That's already been said, and I already said no. Something very far away, like to my parents' house. Am I going to pull out a ruler and measure the distance to my parents' house? You know where my parents live, right?
Oh.
Where did I tell you my parents live? Pensacola, Florida. Am I going to use a ruler to measure to Pensacola, Florida?
No.
Am I going to use a measuring tape to measure to Pensacola, Florida? All right, so come on. What do you use to measure a long distance?
Yardstick? A GPS.
No. You do understand there were not GPSs a long time ago, but they still could measure long distances. Zeke?
A yardstick?
No. I'm not going to take my yardstick and measure all the way to my parents' house.
Phone.
No. Guys, I don't want a device. I want a measurement. What measurement?
Miles.
Thank you. Miles. Miles. You would use miles. Okay? And there is not a mile stick, is there? All right. You would use miles to measure a long distance. Like if you're talking, how far is it from here to Walmart? Would you say it's so many feet?
2.5.
No. Would you say it's so many yards? No, you would measure it in miles. Okay? All right. So these are the measurements we need to know. We need to know there are 12 inches equals 1 foot. All right? And that would be your ruler. Do not get your rulers out yet. 12 inches. If you look on your ruler, when we do get them out, you're going to see that there are 12 inches on your ruler. Now, if you're looking at the side where the numbers are close together, that's something we're going to learn later. That's the metric system, and those are centimeters. Okay? So you don't want to look at the centimeter side. You want to look where the numbers are further apart. Then you're going to learn that there are 36 inches equals 1 yard. And that makes sense because, guys, what's 3 times 12? 36. All right, so this is a yardstick, and you're going to see there are 36 inches in it. 12, 12, and 12. 3 times 12 is 36. Because the last thing we're going to see is there are 3 feet in a yard. So that means I could take 3 of your rulers and put them on my yardstick, and they would fit perfectly because 12 and 12 and 12, 3 of your foot rulers would fit on my yardstick because there's 3 feet in a yard, and we will be doing that in a little while when I let you take your rulers out. The other thing we're going to be learning is distance, and this is talking about the mile, and it it says there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile and 1,760 yards in 1 mile. But we'll talk about that more tomorrow. Actually, not tomorrow because tomorrow's test. That will be on Wednesday. We'll talk more about distance. Today we're going to talk about smaller measurements, inches, feet, and yard. All right, I want you to go ahead and take out your rulers. Please do not start playing with them. And I want you to look, and you're going to see that one side of your ruler has numbers very far apart. And just come back and immediately start tearing it up. All right, so if you look on your ruler, please look at your ruler, and you see where the numbers are far apart. Okay, that is your inches. Where the numbers are close together, that's your centimeters. You do not want to use that side. You want to use the side where your numbers are far apart. I'm doing a video, so I really can't stop to help you. I don't know what's going on. Your ruler? Why don't you have a ruler?
I think I was left in my backpack.
Why? Did you guys take it home? All right, get it. Because I think I told you you didn't have to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you you did not need it. I said that we wouldn't be doing that because we came back again, so we did not need it. And now we're having to waste time. All right, so does everybody see the inches side? That's where the numbers are further apart. All right, I do not want you to measure those lines. I want you to estimate how many inches you think it is. Estimate in the front. They're saying estimate, so that means guess. Please go ahead and guess how long you think those 3 lines are. How many inches long? You can see an inch. All right? This is a good rule of thumb. If you hold your finger like this is what's on the poster. If you hold your finger like this space right here, that's about an inch. Okay? But I want you to guess or estimate in the front. In the back, we're really going to measure it. But we're going to skip that right now, so I don't even want you to really measure it yet. All right, let's go to the next section. The next section says 1 foot and 12 inches. And we're going to do that one together. All right, so it says, and I'm going to put the abbreviation. You do not have the abbreviation. 1 foot, 12 inches. Are they the same?
Yes.
No, one says foot, one says inches. So they are not the same. We need to change them to be the same. What is 1 foot?
12 inches.
So above it, you need to write 12 inches. And again, you can abbreviate it. They don't have it abbreviated, but you can abbreviate it. IN period. And this is at number 4. I am skipping the actual measuring part because that's going to take us longer and I need to do the video. All right? So 12 inches, that would be equal. All right, I'm going to go across the next one because they are going across. This one says 15 inches and it says 2 feet. And again, I'm going to abbreviate. Now, can we change 15 inches to feet?
No.
But we can change, I forgot to make sure the camera could see that first one. No, please stop talking. But we can change the 2 feet to inches. If 1 foot is 12 inches, what is 2 feet?
24.
Very good, 24 inches. So above the 2 feet, you're going to write 24 inches. So now we're comparing inches to inches. 15 inches, 24 inches, which one are you going to gobble up? 24 inches. So 15 inches is less than 24 inches or less than 2 feet. Please cover your nose and stop letting it come down. If it comes down, push it up. I'm having trouble with mine today too, but I keep pushing it up as soon as I feel it coming down. Alright, next we have 3 feet and 30 inches. Alright, so this side is 3 feet. This side says, whoops, I forgot to write 30. 30 inches. So that means we have to change this side to what?
Inches.
Yes, we have to change this side to inches. Please wake up and pay attention. Here, right here. I haven't even done anything yet for you to write on your paper yet, so please pay attention here. I had somebody one time that said 3 feet is 1 yard, and they wrote 1 yard up there. Does this side say yard?
No.
So you cannot change this side to yard, because then you're still not comparing like to like. You'd be comparing yards to inches. If this side says inches, then this side needs to say inches, or vice versa. Since we can't change 30 inches to feet, we have to change the 3 feet to inches. Sit up. What is 1 foot? How many inches? 12 inches. But we need to do 3 feet, so we need to do 12 times 3. What is 12 times 3?
36.
So above the 3 feet, you're going to change that side to 36 inches. So above 3 feet, write 36 inches. Now we're comparing inches to inches. This says 36 inches, this says 30 inches. What do we can gobble up?
36 inches.
36 inches. So 36 inches or 3 feet is greater than 30 inches. This is how you need to do these every time you have these. You have to change one side or the other. Even if you already know it's going to be equal, I want you to show it to me like we did here. So that you're comparing 12 inches is equal to 12 inches, because 1 foot is 12 inches. Does everyone understand? All right. Now we're going to look at a little sample, and we have to guess, not guess. It's not guessing. It's making an educated guess of which would be the best measurement. So they show a man. That is a real man. It is a picture of a real man. So think of the real object. Is a real man going to be 6 inches or 6 feet?
6 feet.
6 feet. So bubble in 6 feet. A flashlight. We already did a flashlight one time. 9 inches or 9 feet?
9 inches.
9 inches. And the last one is a jump rope. Would a jump rope be 7 inches or 7 feet?
7 feet.
7 feet. You would not be able to jump over a 7-inch jump rope, would you? That wouldn't work too well. All right, we're definitely going to skip, because the next section you are going to be writing a line. Let's go ahead and turn it over to the back. And we're going to skip this section where we're going to measure. And we're going to do the whole rest of the paper, and then we're going to go back and do all these measuring things. All right. So we have a eraser. Okay? Like this. Would you measure that in inch or foot? Inch. You'd measure that in inch. Okay? Did you circle it? Wake up and circle it, please. Alright, the next one is a tube of lipstick. Inch or foot? Inch. Alright, and then we have a big whiteboard. So think of my big whiteboard. Foot. Very good. So circle the word foot. I would definitely be measuring. In fact, this is a 10-foot board. Alright, then we have a lunchbox. Inch. You measure the lunchbox in inch. A table, a dining room table. Foot. And a jump rope. Foot. We already did the jump rope on the front, so we already know it's foot. Alright, so now we're going to do the real object, a hand. Would a hand be 6 inches or 6 feet? Inches. The whole man was 6 feet. Just the hand. Alright, and that looks like a garbage can. Garbage can 2 inches tall, 2 feet? 2 feet. Very good. Alright, and the last one is a baseball bat. Feet. 3 feet. So the baseball bat's almost the size of this ruler, right? This is 3 feet. Alright, at the bottom we're doing different measurements we've already learned. Alright, that looks like a bowl of soup. Okay, a bowl of soup, 2 cups or 2 gallons? 2 cups. Ice cream, 2 cups or 2 quarts? Quarts, because they usually sell it. Actually, they started making a little bit smaller. They used to be a half a gallon. 2 quarts is a half a gallon, because 4 quarts is a gallon. But now they make it less than 2 quarts. All right, what about a container of gasoline? 5 quarts or 5 gallons? 5 gallons. You buy the gas by the gallon. That's why the price on the board says so much per gallon. That's a really big container. All right, now blank cups and a pint. 2. Very good. 2 cups and a pint. blank quarts in a gallon?
4.
4. 4 quarts in a gallon. And blank pints in a quart?
2.
All right, very good. Now, look up here. Please look up here. I know this is not going to be easy for you to see. When we go back to the front of our paper, go ahead and go back to the front of your paper. Look up here, though. When you measure, if it is right on the number, that's the number you put. You're going to start at the end of your ruler, or some of your rulers have a 0, and they tell you to start here. How many of your rulers you have a 0? That is where you need to start measuring or start drawing. Please do not start measuring and start drawing. I need you to look up here. Please look up here. Here. Right? Sometimes when you measure, you're going to come in between two numbers. Like it won't be on the 3 and it won't be on the 4. It's going to be in between, right in the middle. So if it's halfway in between, what do you think you're going to have to put? Paige? Half. Very good. So look up here. If you measure, let's say when you measure the line, when you saw the line and you measured it, it was past the 3, but then it went on to right there, past the 3, but not to the 4, then you would say that that is 3 1/2. That's how you would write that. 3 1/2. There were 3 whole inches, but it didn't quite make it 4, so that meant it was 3 1/2. Do you guys see how the 3 is written normal size? Are you looking? And the 1/2 is written 1/2. You can also write it like this, 3 and 1/2 with a slanted line. But these two numbers, the 1/2 numbers, you make them smaller. So those of you that tend to write too small, you better stop. Because if you already are writing too small, I won't even be able to see your 1/2. But those of you that tend to write big, do not start writing even bigger just so you can make your 1/2 normal size. Okay? So when you're doing 3 1/2, which I don't even think you guys have to do 3 1/2, you're doing something else. Okay? So if it goes to the number, but then it doesn't make it to the next number, you need to put the number it went to, but then you're going to say 1/2. Okay? All right. You may go ahead and begin. And then you also have to measure the line and draw out the line. So start at the dot and draw a line and put a little line to stop yourself where I need to stop. So you're going to do one that's 4 1/2. So make sure you get to the 4 and then go on to the middle between the 4 and the 5. And you're doing a 2 1/2 line too. So go ahead and do those. Be very neat and be stronger than your ruler. Hold your ruler in place so your line's not all wiggly.